Hi, welcome to Talks with Teads. I'm Katie Secret, the EVP of Global Marketing at Teads, and I'm super excited to be here with Sunny from Pinterest. So, Sunny, do you want to tell us a little bit more about you and your role?
Yes, of course. I'm Sunny Nguyen. I work at Pinterest. I head up paid media marketing efforts across our consumer and business marketing team globally.
Amazing. Well, I'm really excited to talk to you because I know that you're an expert in creative advertising strategies.
I would hope so.
One would hope so, right? One would hope so. And I know that you do a lot of brainstorming about how to balance building brand loyalty and brand awareness, but really driving your consumers to the actions that you want. So how do you think about that when balancing the ideal mix?
For sure. I mean, in my role, I sit in the growth marketing team. I oversee brand media, but I also have a counterpart that focuses on performance. And in our roles, we really have strategies that complement each other. And there is some overlap, but we try to minimize that as much as possible. But on the performance side, it's really about attributed MAUs, or monthly active users. And at that point, we really try to reach a broad audience, a lot of paid performance channels. And in complement for our consumer strategies, it's really about pushing upper funnel metrics and goals around brand sentiment. And it's because it's more tied to upper funnel, we have a different target, different creative, a different partner set, different channels to really build more awareness on top of paid performance channels.
Makes a lot of sense. I mean, what are some of the metrics that you think really complement, as you said, performance strategies when it comes to measuring branding objectives?
For sure. I mean, I would say, well, first off, it starts off with our MMM. Mm-hmm. We have an internal MMM built specifically for our paid performance campaigns, and that really focuses on user-attributed MAUs. And then on the brand side, we recently built our internal MMM as well, which is in complement. And together, we're looking at CACs, we're looking at ARPU, we're looking at overall conversions, efficiencies, and volume. And then we're also looking at, of the new users that we're bringing in across brand, how many of them are truly new versus lapsed or churned. So there's like a few different metrics that we look across both, and then we build out separate metrics and insights tied to brand.
What are some of the most interesting things you've learned when building your internal media mix model? I know it's a very large undertaking, so.
For sure. I mean, I will say I didn't build it.
Right.
But I work closely with our analytics team, and we work collaboratively to really refine out our insights. But I think the most important part is starting with the quality of the data. We've had a lot of experience working with external MMM partners, and it's pretty much a best practice at Pinterest where we have an external partner, but we also build an internal one to cross-check our results. So I thought that was a really interesting insight. I'm not sure if every company does that, but Pinterest definitely does that and does our due diligence. And then in terms of the quality of the data, it's standard inputs: impressions, spends, partners, channel, by week. But then on top of that, we use a Bayesian logic. And because we're using Bayesian logic, we can then inform our model with things like seasonality, diminishing return, ad stock, lag. So there's multiple things that you can put into it to make it more accurate. I also learned that Bayesian logic is more accurate than linear regression. So I was like, okay, cool, got some stats in there. And then outside of that, I think the most important part is, getting to a point where we can have actionable results. So what I mean by that is getting past the channel level and getting partner level reads. And something we've been able to add this year is response curves and saturation points and ROAS impact. So all things that are really important to the business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many things that you can dig into. It's the limit really doesn't exist. I wanted to ask you as well.
Throwback millennial reference.
Absolutely, you've got it. We're in sync. I wanted to ask you as well, though, I mean, especially at the point in the year that we are, we're almost going to be midway through 2025. Everyone's talking about the emergence of AI and how AI can help us tailor consumer experiences, how it can help us deliver outcomes, as you were just referencing. What is Pinterest's philosophy about these top trends in 2025, and how are you kind of tackling and addressing some of them in your overall strategy?
I mean, AI in general, it's a big part of Pinterest. It's integrated within our platform. You have so many different use cases across the user experience, across creative, across making creative. But I think from the paid media perspective, it really goes into our media planning, optimizations, budget optimizations, audience segmentation, audience builds. So it's incorporated across the whole funnel, I mean, not to use funnel, but it's incorporated across the whole funnel and across every possible touch point.
It makes sense because everyone says it really needs to be integral to the entirety of your strategy rather than a bolt-on. So it's good to hear how Pinterest is addressing that. What's something that you're most excited for when it comes to your overall role and strategy at Pinterest for the rest of the year?
I think what's exciting for me is now I'm year 2 at Pinterest. We've learned a lot last year. We are already getting faster, smarter, and more integrated with how we plan. We're also getting better at planning globally across our campaigns, so it feels like one campaign with cultural market nuances. And because we're talking about measurement, I think the most exciting thing is the speed and accuracy of the result that we're receiving. So we can make more frequent optimizations that's tied to actual results that we care about. So I think for me, it's really around getting faster, getting smarter, and getting measurement and attribution.
Makes a lot of sense. I'll end with one more question about measurement, as you just referenced. When you think about getting smarter, faster, et cetera, with measurement, is there one wish list thing that you have in terms of what the industry can crack when it comes to advertising measurement, or the biggest gap that we currently need to further look at?
I mean, I feel like I'm not sure if it's a gap, but it's definitely builds. I mean, for us, the main point is driving incremental monthly active users. We really care about our users. We want to scale up our users, scale up our user base. There's also another side of our business is tied to ad revenue. So how do we drive more ad revenue for people and brands and enterprise advertisers and agencies to advertise on Pinterest? So I think it's building a measurement framework that can build all of that in one place. I think it's very common to have fractured measurement where you're getting sources across different places. But as we're building a lot of our internal tools, we're trying to get all of those things internally so it's within one platform. So things about tying ad revenue, tying a usage of certain features that we're launching, understanding the impact of performance and brand audit performance. Just having really a one-stop shop that lives within one framework would be an ideal.
We've seen the same thing. I think that unification of all of those types of measurement and strategies and how they really influence each other is going to be the holy grail of delivering outcomes, as we say in advertising. So it's great to hear the same from you.
For sure.
I think that's all the time that we have. So thank you, Sunny, so much for joining us, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much.